The Emperor's New Clothes. Once upon a time, there was an emperor who cared for nothing but his appearance. He loved to wear the finest clothes and would change his outfit several times a day. One day, two swindlers arrived in the kingdom, claiming to the weavers for the most magnificent fabric imaginable. They declared that their cloth had a magical quality. It was invisible to anyone who was unfit for their position or who was particularly foolish. The emperor was intrigued by his idea and decided to hire the swindlers to create an outfit for him that would allow him to identify those unworthy for their roles in his court. He paid them handsomely with gold coins and delicate silk, but little did he know that the swindlers were merely pretending to weave, like pocketing all the money. As time passed, the emperor grew impatient and sent out one of his trusted ministers to check on the progress. I will send my honest old minister to the weavers, the emperor decided. He will be the best one to tell me how the material looks, for he is a sensible man, and no one does his duty better. The minister arrived at the weaver's shop but saw nothing on the looms. Heaven help me, he thought as his eyes flew wide open. I can't see anything at all. But he did not say so. Instead, he claimed, "Oh, it's a beautiful, it's enchanting." He peered through his spectacles. Such a pattern, what colors! He thought to himself that he would be sure to tell the emperor how delighted he was with it. When other officials were sent to inspect the work, they too saw nothing but lied about his magnificence out of fear of being thought foolish. Finally, it was the emperor's turn to see his new clothes. When he arrived at the workshop, he too could not see anything but pretended otherwise. On the day of the grand procession, the emperor proudly donned his new clothes, which were actually nothing at all. As he paraded through the streets, everyone admires his outfit, not wanting to wear and appear foolish by admitting they saw nothing. Finally, a child in the crowd shouted out, "But he isn't wearing anything at all." "Did you ever hear such innocent pralet?" said its father. And one person whispered to another what the child had said. "He hasn't anything on." "But he hasn't got anything on," cried everyone. The truth rang out through the streets, and everyone began to murmur in agreement. The emperor realized he had been deceived, but continued walking proudly, unwilling to admit his folly. And he walked on in silence, feeling both humiliated and angry. He tried to maintain his dignity despite being exposed as a fool. The crowd continued to laugh and point at him. However, deep down inside him, a sense of realization stirred. From that day forward, although he still loved his beautiful clothes, he learned that true worth comes from honesty and humility rather than appearance alone. The people of his kingdom also learned an important lesson. It is always better to speak up than remain silent out of fear.